Well, good morning, good afternoon, whatever time of day it is that you're watching this. We're really excited that you took the time to spend this time with us. And as we walk into the summer here at Hoboken Grace, for those of you who don't know, our plan's changing a little bit. And because of that, for the next couple of months, we're not going to have a night of prayer like we have been, but we still want to be able to introduce the Rhythms passage to you. And if you haven't been exposed to this before, here at Hoboken Grace, every month we have a meditation passage. It's a passage that we don't just come to once, but we come to as much as we can throughout a month, day after day after day, and just kind of allow that passage to kind of seep into the cracks and crevices of our life, and for it to not just be something that we know, but something that we really live, that it changes the way that we look at the world, the way that we think about the world. And this month, our passage is actually just one verse. It's found in Proverbs chapter 13, verse 20. And it says this, it says, "Walk with the wise and become wise, associate with fools and get in trouble." And the author is just really clearly trying to help us understand something that actually I mentioned this past week, that influence is far more important and far more powerful than information. The people that you allow to influence you will have a far greater impact on your life than the information that you know. And so he's saying, listen, pay attention to the people who are closest to you. Pay attention to the people that you allow to have influence in your life. And as we walk through this month, we want to allow that passage just kind of allow it to sift through our life, and for us to be able to ask, okay, who does have the most influence in my life? And are there places where I'm giving fools a great amount of influence on who I am and who it is that I'm becoming? Because make no mistake about it, the people that you surround yourself with are going to impact who you become, and you are becoming something. So who is it that has influence? And oftentimes the tricky thing about this is that it's not that we don't have wise people in our life, it's just that they don't demand our time. And oftentimes the foolish people in our life, they do demand our time. And so we're kind of drawn to them. It's almost work to make sure that you create space and time for the wise. In just a couple of weeks, I'm going to be going out and visiting one of the most wisest influences in my life, a friend of mine named Roger. And I'm just taking a week and just spending it out with him at his place in Montana so that I can be influenced by his wisdom. I want for him to be able to speak into my life. I want really to have that influence as much as I possibly can. And as we go into the summer, I'm incredibly busy, and it can be really easy for me. It can be really easy for me to say, well, I just don't have time for that. But the reality is that I can't afford not to, because as the writer's trying to help us understand, if you're going to live a wise life, if you're going to become who you were created to become, then you have to make sure that you surround yourself with wisdom, that you give influence to those who are wise, that you're careful with your companions. And then also there's implications on this as far as our time with God and how we're spending time with Him. Are we giving Him influence in our life? Are we taking time to make sure that we have rhythms in our life that remind us of who He is, that we're coming back to that meditation passage, that we're memorizing this verse as we walk through this next month, so that we can continue to give Him more and more influence in who we are and who it is that we're becoming. I just want to read it to you one more time. Walk with the wise and become wise. Associate with fools and get in trouble. Who is it that you're giving influence to? Allow this verse to not just be something that you hear today, but allow it to sit with you this month. Allow it to shape the decisions that you make, the path that you choose. Allow it to shape who it is that you give influence to in your life. I hope it's going to be a great month for you. I'm looking forward to allowing this passage to impact me, and we'll see you guys soon.